It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary Hotline bling.
That can only mean one thing.
Culinary Hotline bling. Ting, ting, ting.
Yes, on a Wednesday morning. We're hanging out with the wonderful Anel, aka Potgieter.
Oh, yes.
Good to have you here.
Ja,
Happy
so goed om
Wednesday.
je te weet.
Happy
Ja.
Wednesday. And you know what it means when it's a Wednesday? It means that you can engage with us on all matters culinary. And last week we had an entire topic on being vegan. It was about the vegetarians out there. And today we focus on the meatitarians because we shift our focus to all things meat. So give us a call on 021-430-9881 and ask us any questions you'd like to know regarding meat, because it is still quite a major part of life, even though I think a lot of people are trying to switch over to the healthier, if you will, lifestyle of being a vegetarian. It is, especially for South Africans, we love our meat.
It's like Facebook, can't get rid of it. Nou het ons Facebook.
Let the meat puns begin. All right, so when it comes to cooking different types of meats, cuts of beef, let's start with that, because it's one of the most common ones that we love so much in South Africa. Super expensive as well. How would you suggest preparing beef? Is there a specific way you should be
I first want to talk about the tougher cuts. You know, that comes from the backside and from the legs of the beef. So what you normally do with that is long and slow. That's what you do.
Long
and with moisture.
and slow.
Yes, yes. You know when you go to the shop and you see those beef chucks, like they call it stewing beef. So that is long and slow. So for those kind of cuts and the shin, you can make a beautiful beef bourguignon. Julia Childs, lots of red wine, small onions, fresh herbs.
Yes.
We can go over to Russia, that's French, and then we're going to go over to Russia and we can make a beef stroganoff.
Oh, that
with
is that
sour
where it comes
cream.
from?
Yeah, it's a Russian dish.
Stroganoff. Oh, I thought it was German. It's Russian.
Beef stroganoff, it's like a Russian thing, and then you can add like sour cream and fresh herbs in there. And then for the shin, I love to do soups, vegetable soups,
Yes.
you know, to do a soup with it. But it's long and slow, so those are the tougher cuts. Yeah.
I remember Zola once saying to me that if you look at the cow, and you said if you look at the beef, no, the cow, and the meat comes from a place where the cow does this. That means it comes from the limbs and means it's tough, because that's a
Very
muscle that's
tough.
been exercised to walk all of that weight. So that's when you then think long and slow.
Yes. Even the tail, long and slow. Although it's going wagging, it's
Yeah,
long
yeah,
and slow.
You know, a cow can give you a club with a stab, like a pa. Have you ever tried to milk a cow, but then you walk around the wrong side and it's like, that sound effect is real. It happens.
I know the sound effect, but I've never done it before.
Okay, so long and slow when it comes to that. But then, you know, one mistake I always make, and I feel bad for it. You go and there's a boys' braai on the weekend, and they ask you, okay, bro, like, what's your like? What do you like to have? You know? And there's T-bone, there's sirloin, there's rump, there's porterhouse and like fillet. And I'm like, no, just give me the fillet. And then you get home, you braai it, and then it's horrible. And you ask yourself, why did I do that? Because you don't know the names. First, well, that's me. Don't know the names and what it means about that particular kind of meat.
Yeah, it all depends where it comes from the cow, number one, as you said. So the fillet comes here from the back, underneath, you know, you see rugstring.
Okay, sorry, imagine I'm a cow now.
So the fillet comes from underneath here, hierdie rug.
Yeah.
So that's a part that doesn't do a lot. Okay, so that's where your fillet, so that is the softest part. Dis die sagste gedeelte. Dan jou rump kom hier vanaf, nie op die bout nie, maar ek sal omtrent sê hierso, daarso. Dis 'n rump omtrent, net so daar.
Rump, okay, cool. Yeah.
En dan your sirloin, the sirloin sits just on top of the fillet. 'n Bietjie hoër, maar hy's nie die fillet is deep in. You know what I'm saying? But the sirloin gets a bit of work there. So it's soft, but the rump is tastier. That is the other thing. And then the T-bone is from the ribs and a bit of the fillet. So those are your basic cuts that we get into. So you treat them basically the same. You know, but behalwe die fillet natuurlik moet jy soos 'n vinnig flash fry in 'n pan en dan heel weer in die oond druk, because it's a big piece. So for another 20 minutes in the oven. And if I cook, say, the rump and stuff like that, I always look at the thickness.
Okay.
So if your rump is like 3 centimeter thick, ek meet dit met 'n liniaal.
Oh, wow. So you've got a special ruler in the kitchen to measure meat.
Yeah. If it's 3 centimeters, then on a very, very high, very hot flame, you 3 minutes on the one side, 3 minutes on the other side, 3 minutes rest.
Okay, is that
If
because it's 3 millimeters?
It's 3 centimeters.
Sorry,
So
millimeters
if
are
it's
very
2
thin.
centimeters, you go 2
minutes,
2
2
minutes,
minutes, 2 minutes.
Yeah, and that's my rule of thumb.
And if it's
with
1 centimeter, it's probably too thin to cook anyway.
Yeah,
just
nee, dan moet jy maar net on the fire for a few seconds.
All right, brilliant. I'm loving this meaty discussion that we're having. So give us a call, 0214309881. We'll be right back with another fleshy discussion of the Culinary Hotline blowing. Sing, sing, sing.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone. Culinary Hotline.
Well, thanks for meeting us in the kitchen once again for the Culinary Hotline bling. Sing, sing, sing. Hey! Yes, give us a call on 0214309881. We're talking all things meat today with Anel Potgieter, and we were discussing the different ways of preparing different cuts of meat. But I think what you wanted to address first of all was, how do you identify the quality of the meat? Because quality is better than quantity, or is that the case when it comes to red meat?
Definitely, yeah. It all depends where you buy it. So I will say, try and get a good butcher and get to the source of your product. If you know the product comes from an ethical farmer, and the butcher buys from that farmer, you
Yes.
are going to get a good product. So know your brand very, very well.
Okay.
What's important is that sometimes with the cheaper cuts, they're full of hormones and stuff because they try and bulk them up and get them fat quicker
Yeah.
and sell them quicker to you. So then they can sell it at a cheaper price. So when your more expensive cut will be more pure meat.
Yes.
And it's a building block for your body. It's one of
Yes.
the most important elements for building your muscles and stuff, so make sure you get the best in.
Yeah, but look, not all of us are privileged enough to live in an area where there's a local
Yeah.
Nyansa there
Yeah.
on the corner.
Yeah.
So we have to shop at stores.
Yes.
When you look at a piece of meat
Yes.
in its packaging,
Yes.
what are you looking for to go,
Yes.
it's just a stuk vlees?
Ja, weet jy wat? En ek is horrible. Ek pak dit so 'n bietjie met my vinger.
So you're the person that causes all of those bumps in the meat, and then when other people get there, they're like, I don't want this one, it looks old.
I know
Kante,
it's
it's you.
bad. I know it's bad to do that. But with a rump steak, I promise you, when it's got like strong packaging around, I go in and I can actually feel that it's soft, or if it's like sinewy or what. But I think check for sinewy. Like it must be a clean cut.
Sinewy.
Ja,
You mean
sinewy. Dit is daai seënings wat in dit is.
Ja.
So dit is sulke wit lyne wat
Those
in dit
white
is.
lines is
Ja.
sinews,
So
yes.
just make sure that that's not in. Make sure it's a beautiful red color, a dark red color. Dit moet nie donkerbruin wees nie, want dan raak dit bietjie wild, sal ek sê. So just make sure it's a nice dark red color as well.
Yeah.
So ek sal so na daai goed kyk. Ja.
Okay, so very, very important there. Meat, of course, is very expensive, as we said in the beginning, but
Yeah.
especially now with the current water situation, not just in Cape Town, but all over the world, and in South Africa as well. So how do you make it go further? How can you ensure that your meat lasts a bit longer to match your budget?
I love to add extra vegetables, like strong vegetables, like carrots that keeps their form in the stew and stuff. So I do that. I also add grains and pulses. Jy sit bietjie barley by, jy sit koring by, stuff like that. You can add some soya to it or beans to your stew to make it further. Also, if you cut it more finely and make a mince out of it,
Yes.
I love to grate carrots in there, grate butternut in there, and actually bulk it up a bit.
Yes.
So that's how you can make it go further. Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. And you can share your ideas as well with us if you have any on how to make your meat go a little bit further. I was going to ask a very conspicuous question right now, and I'm going to ask it. You know why? Because somewhere in the world, there are people running around with beer in their mouth, and they spit it on these cows, and they massage it, and then it gives us something called Kobe beef, right?
You are not well.
No. I've imagined this, and I've thought about it, okay? And it's the most expensive beef in the world. I want to know from you, as an expert
Yeah.
in all things meat, do you think that spitting on a cow beer and then massaging it makes for better meat, and that we're paying so much for it?
I don't think you pay for the spitting and that actually. I think you pay for the quality and the type of beef Colby, because it's very much marbled with fat. But let me tell you, if I see a Japanese doing that, I'll just not buy it anyway, because it's so much fun to watch. First of all, want a video with the meat.
Boomerang that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've seen a little video of that anyway. Let's take a call right now. Good morning.
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 Hi, who am I speaking to?
You're speaking to Hazel.
Hello, Hazel. Thank you so much for the call. What is your culinary conundrum on this Wednesday morning?
I would like to know what is the average time you need to boil your red meat?
The average time in which to boil red meat. Okay, great
Yeah.
stuff. Here we go.
I think it all depends on what vehicle you use. If you use a pressure cooker,
Yes.
I will say about 40 minutes, it will be perfect. But if you do like a curry, a beef curry, put it in a thick pot, and I will put it in the oven on top of a stove for at least 2.5, 3 hours, and it really permeates and gets soft and juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, fantastic. So it all depends on the vehicle that you
Yeah,
use, as
yeah,
you heard there, Hazel.
yeah.
So what if you're using the bonnet of your car?
You're going to have to eat it quite rare, I think.
All right, listen, we'll be back again with Anel as we discuss more meaty things on the Culinary Hotline. Bling! Ting, ting, ting!
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Call us on your cell phone.
Culinary
Hotline bling.
That can only mean one thing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Welcome to it, the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Ting, ting, ting.
Where all good cooks come to meet together. Because that's what we're doing today,
And
0214.
fleshing it out.
Yes, 4309888. That's Cape Town number. Call us with all your culinary conundrums. I was corrected during the ad break by our producer saying that the Kobe beef comes from cows that are actually fed the beer. So they're not spat on, but they are massaged. But now all it's got me thinking is that instead of normal cows going after they drink the beer, they get together and they're like
Very happy cows. Happy.
Such fun. Okay, getting back to our questions about all things meat. When you go to the shop and you get pieces of meat and on the fat there's like a stamp on it.
Yep.
And there's a blue stamp, purple stamp, green stamp, there's letters, there's numbers.
Yeah.
Nobody ever really, I don't understand what those mean.
Yeah. So stamp has got to do with this, the tenderness of the meat. So we're going to start with the purple stamp. That
Okay.
is this most tender cut of meat. And it's also got an A to it.
Okay.
So it's A, it's very tender and it's purple color.
Yes.
Then there's a code AB.
Yes.
It's also tender. It's from a younger sheep, but it's now bietjie ouer. And it's got a green stamp on it. So
Okay.
Purple and green are really tender cuts of meat. Then you go to B. It's also got a B code. That is a brown stamp.
Okay.
So this brown stamp, it's like less tender than the other two.
Okay. All right.
They just talk about tender, less tender. And
Yes.
then the C is normally a mutton. That's your old sheep. Okay?
Okay.
And that's got a red stamp on it. So dit is bietjie baie, jy kan hom nie sommer net, dit is 'n baie tougher deel van die ding.
Okay.
So that is the codes and the colors.
All right, fantastic. Lots to learn. We've got a caller on the line right now. I believe I'm speaking under correction, but it is Spaghetti. Spaghetti calling us from Oudtshoorn.
Yes, that's spaghetti from Oudtshoorn. Yeah.
Hallo spaghetti.
Lekker spaghetti. How are the meatballs today? What? Sorry?
Die dorp van die lang vole en die harde eiers, it's ostrich.
Dis hele mense van die
Yes.
groot vol paradys nie waar nie.
Yes, hy daai.
Lekker. Ja, los jou budgie by jou huis. Praat met ons. Wat is jou vraag?
Nee, ek het nie 'n vraag gehad, ek het net gesê hulle prentjie verkeerd wat hulle gebruik het daar.
Ja?
Die sirloin is voor die agterbeen, voor die lies. Die sirloin is eintlik die bokant van die T-bone, is bo op die rug van die bees.
Yes,
Nie
ja.
voor die lies van die bees nie.
Ja, ek het net so verduidelik. Ja, hy gaan 'n bietjie te ver af. So
Ja.
die sirloin moet eintlik bo die short loin en die
Bo-op,
rib
ja.
daar bo wees,
Ja.
nê?
Ja,
en dan
short loin en die rib en die chak voor.
Yes.
Ja. Hy lê daar bo op die T-bone.
Yes.
Dis die
En dan is
bokant
die
van die
fillet
T-bone
onder
en
dit.
Die fillet is die binnekant van die
Yes.
T-bone, ja. Net
Yes.
onder die bees.
Ag, dankie spaghetti.
Ag, my voorreg, lekker om julle te gesels. Lekker dag.
Groete vir die mense daar by die
Dankie vir die
KAK wêreld. Ja, Spaghetti.
jy.
Very, very knowledgeable on his know-how
Ja.
of meat. Okay, thank you very much for that. We really do appreciate it. What does it mean when they say that an animal is grass-fed? Like they say, oh, grass-fed beef. I just assume that all animals eat grass.
Oh, nee, glad nie. And
Yeah.
there is a big difference between grass-fed and grain-fed.
Okay.
So, as when cows are born, they are all the same. Hulle drink van hulle mommy milk, nee?
Yes,
Like,
all
they
cows are born
for
equal.
Till about 6 months.
Yes.
Then the cows, then they get sekere groepe vat hulle dan na lots toe. You know, these feed lots. And then they get grain-fed in these feed lots.
It's a very separatist kind of mind thinking, isn't
Yes.
it? I don't like
okay.
it. but
Yeah, I know. That's
Yeah,
the thing. So
I
then
do
they
that.
get in these feed lots, I get grain-fed, and then normally
Yeah.
they get pumped with hormones and steroids to grow faster, to go quickly onto the market. That
'Cause
is
we
your
need so much
grain-fed.
meat out there in the world, yeah.
Then the grass-fed are the happy ones. They can meander around the grass. Hulle is gelukkige diere, and they eat the grass, the natural surrounding, most of the time. Sometimes I do substitute it with a little bit of grain, but they are normally hormone-free. They're happy
Yes.
cows, and that
Allowed
is
to grow at their own pace and develop.
And there's also a taste difference. Ek bedoel, can you imagine you eat lieflike gras against grain and soy? You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely as well quality and nutritional value.
And so, do you then, when you pay that extra a bit of amount for a grass-fed cow, you're actually paying for the time that it also took to nurture that cow?
Till a certain age,
To a
because it
certain
takes
age.
much longer,
Yes,
because they don't
exactly.
get pumped with all this stuff that the lots are.
So you
And
pay
I
for
don't
the
even want to
time.
talk about the feeding lots. It's something it is just something...
I completely understand. But we'll be back again with the Culinary Hotline Bling.
Ting, ting, ting.
Ausbelele, man.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Hey, yelele! We're back again with the Culinary Hotline Bling. Sing, sing, sing! Anel Potgieter in the house. Also, one of our regular callers of the Culinary Hotline Bling, Vanessa, is on the line. Good morning, Vanessa.
Hello, Kate. Hello, Anel. How are you guys?
I'm loving the laughter in your voice. It gives me so much life.
I'm sick, but I'm still happy.
That's amazing. All right, Vanessa, what's your...
Anel and Kate, I'd love to ask this question. Okay, when I go and buy my weekly groceries at a retail shop, okay, the big shop, why is the stamp the best before and sell by that time? It's usually 2 days off, like I buy it now.
Yeah.
And in 2 days' time, that meat expires. Why are they still selling it? And it means like just I'm buying 700 rands worth of meat. After they use it within 3 days, they said to me the other day when I asked them, I know all you do is freeze it. So I said, but how can you freeze it if it's going to expire on Sunday? I'm scared I'm going to get this listerosis and all this kind of shit, Sorry to say that word. But, I mean, what does the person do that the meat to keep it from expiring before the second or third day that you bought it?
Vanessa, you should be the spokesperson of the Ministry of Meat and Technology. You know what? Because that's something I've asked myself as well. You look at it. So why does that happen?
I think it's, once again, it's the brand where you buy it from. So what I do when I go to the shop, ek krap onder alles, want they put the ones with the dates most that's going to expire tomorrow on top.
Yeah.
And if you go back, you will get the one, say, today is the 15th or 14th of March. At the back, you're going to get something 20th of March.
Yeah, I guess from like an accounting point of view, it's first in, first out inventory system. So you want to have the stuff that lasts longer still there when the date comes around.
Yes, absolutely. And what I do then, if the date is, say, in 2 days' time, and I know I'm not going to use it, then you have to freeze it, But I think it's you have to portion it and freeze it in your freezer till you use it. But it is a difficult thing, and I think it's all to do about the brand, how they treat their meat. And perhaps, Vanessa, you must build a relationship with the butcher of the place. And gaan vat die man aan, go and speak to him and say to him, you know what, I've got a problem here. I want my meat. I'm coming in on Thursday next week. I want this stuff fresh. And go and build a relationship with him and get the freshest stuff.
Yeah. Or perhaps maybe an idea is this, that, if you know that you're going to be making a major beef dish and you go and buy that which maybe, let's say, expires or is used by in the next 2 days, buy the correct amount so that you can use it all today.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to freeze it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if that might be a bit more
it's
economical to think about it that way. Yeah. But as far as freezing is concerned, it is fine to do that too.
Absolutely fine to freeze, especially beef. What I like to do when I buy big chunks is just to cut, say, if I buy a rump, cut it up in small portions, just for me and Rick, elk in a stukkie, so you don't have this big chunk of meat.
Yes.
Make sure it's freezing, and then for steaks, I'll say about 3 to 4 months, and then like bigger pieces, like the shin or the legs or something that you're going to stew will last about 6 months in your freezer. Freeze.
Yeah. Now that we're living in a time of listeriosis, and Vanessa, just apologise for saying that word because it's such a shock factor to everyone still, if you have frozen the meat, you pull it out because you're planning on using it, it defrosts, and you're like, oh no, rather, I'm too lazy to cook, so I'm going to order out, and you order out now. Can you freeze it again?
I won't recommend that,
Yeah.
but you can do that. But I won't recommend that. I don't think there's anything wrong. If you defrosted it in the fridge,
Yes.
and not outside of the fridge, and it was still cold, I think you can refreeze it, but just remember the quality is going to go down every time you take it through that process.
Yes. Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. Well, I think we've learned a serious load today about all kinds of things meat. What is your favorite? If I were to invite you home for a steak and braai, what am I making for you?
Definitief 'n fillet. En weet jy wat moet jy met die fillet doen?
What?
You must put a towel down. You must put some salt down. You must roll this whole fillet in the towel.
Roll it?
Yeah. And then you must chuck it in the fire. So the towel burns.
Just
Ja, you chuck this whole thing in the fire wat met tou vasgemaak is. And let it burn for 12 minutes exactly. Break it open because the towel is going to be hard because of the salt and put it on the table.
That's
Drama.
incredible. Try that out this weekend. And of course, leave all of your other culinary conundrums on our Facebook page. We'll engage with them next week. Anel Potgieter, you are simply the best.
Thank you.
Yes.
With 50 nutrients, source of calcium and protein, Future Life Smart Drink is made with love by Clover.